Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. 51 years after the Civil War, why haven't we come together as a people to have a national dialogue about this? Tension continues to grow as on Sunday, May 31st, 2021, in the southeastern region of Nigeria, the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, commemorated the loss of over 1 million lives during the Nigerian Civil War. They mandated that all Igbos remain home during this period. Founded in 2012, IPOB is on a mission for all southeastern states to secede from Nigeria and form the independent state of Biafra. In a recently held roundtable with women and youths in Abuja at our headquarters at TOS TV Network, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, spoke about the need for the nation to acknowledge what happened to the Igbos during the Civil War so that we can start the healing process as a people and chart a way forward as one nation. Don't go anywhere. It promises to be a very intellectually engaging dialogue.
My son has always dreamt of being in the spotlight. As his mother, it is my duty to help him live up to his dream. That's why I give him Born Vita every day, which contains iron, zinc, and vitamin C that supports his immunity and gives him the strength to pursue his dreams. Born Vita, strength to dream.
North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
In line with the vision of being a credible platform that bridges the communication gap between citizens and leaders, while promoting accountability to strengthen democracy and promote good governance, the TOS Consultative Roundtable has consistently hosted political leaders, civil society stakeholders, and journalists. In furtherance of this corporate social responsibility initiative, under the auspices of TOS Foundation, the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, visited TOS headquarters in Abuja for a courtesy visit and a roundtable discussion.
We are even yet to get a closure for the Civil War. Who is going to tell us the true story of what happened during the Civil War? Who did what and why? Why can't some people come and say we are sorry for what we did? So that their brothers and kinsmen can say, okay, yes, let's close. You can't sweep certain things under the carpet. The tension is palpable. And this is the time for us to open up as those who love this country. I speak in this way because I spent 7 years in the University of Maiduguri. I've lived in Lagos. I've gone through all parts of northern Nigeria, and I understand this country. I feel sad that the strings that hold us together are gradually giving way. NYSC has collapsed. I do not know how many of you would want his son or daughter to go for NYSC in certain parts of this country today. In fact, nobody wants to, if you have a choice, your daughter or your son will serve in your kitchen. So the space, operational space, horizon and sphere of the average Nigerian youth today is not as wide as the play area where I grew up. As a 16-year-old boy, I went to University of Maiduguri. So my son will not have that privilege of knowing that Nigeria is as wide and as vast as that. So I understand the thinking and mindset of the Kanuri man. So you are bottling off people, and when you have too many atoms in an enclosure and you apply pressure, you are creating a bomb, because the enthalpy will be high, the rate of movement will be high, and then that is exactly what is happening. We have become very, very agitated as a country, and I do not know how else to go about it apart from, starting from the beginning, calling a spade, dredging up the willpower to do what is right, and no matter whose odd is God, and then taking off from there, and then getting everybody involved in all of this. Because social mobilization now has whittled. Because today, the commander will say, let us go, and he will look behind and nobody is following. So it's a big problem, and it affects everything. Now, this, what I have just said, speaks to the issue of IPOB and fellowship, and their fellowship in Abia. See, people are beginning to think now that some of the issues raised by Nnamdi, are, if they were issues of injustice, marginalization, inequality, whether it is gender or whether it is generational, whatever, any particular arm of the society that is excluded in any way has a right to begin to feel cheated or unwanted. So some of those things which Nnamdi said are valid. Some of us can see it. We cannot continue to hide behind a finger. But some of us do not subscribe to his style and strategy. Because I do not understand where he is going and how he is going and when he plans to pull the brake and what he wants to achieve. If I have a way of conveying my views to the leadership of that group, what I would say, is they should find a way to enter into conversation and let people know. I'm under their fatwa now, and some of my brother governors, they say, if you see us, kill us, do this and that. So, and all of that. They are fighting in the kitchen. By the time the war in the kitchen ends, Mama's pot of soup would have there'll be no soup again, and then there'll be no plate to eat. So everybody will be hungry. Eventually, it will not serve any good purpose. So I don't understand their strategy. I don't understand what they want to achieve. And I don't understand why they prefer to attack institutions of civil rule. A lot of people who are apologetic to some of this, their strategy, do not even know that they are riding the tiger. Because if the police and the military withdraws, and then brigands becomes the enforcers of law and order, if you have a little quarrel with your brother, how do you resolve it? How do you resolve it? So, like somebody asked, the intent of that question, what I get from that question is that the psychological impact on the mindset of our children, our youths growing up, is a major issue. It's a major issue. And then we must find a way to speak to it. Here again, our national orientation platform is weak or non-existent. For every social issue in any developed society, the national orientation platform must develop a narrative that is concise, that is true, that is verifiable. National orientation should be willing to say, sorry, we made a mistake. No person can be right 100% all the days of his life. Even in dealing with our children, at times, we do things that are not right. We should have the courage to stoop low and say sorry. But to create an utopian aura that all is well, it's either nothing will happen or I have done it, come and beat me, I'm in my house. For every major socio-political dislocation, whether it is by way of war or whether it is by way of what happened during June 12, whether it is by way of this nation needs, especially from the side of the people that are directly affected, and then on a global scale, this nation needs closure. I told you I participated as a member of SDP. So as a young man, I also feel entitled that I need to know why MKO Abiola we battled and suffered and did everything too. I remember the stallion on his dress and all of that. So why didn't it happen? It is not because we want to assume old issues, but it will help us forge our national trajectory going forward, so that we can say, no, this looks like you are behaving like somebody who wants to do what happened during June 12. So we can establish that which I called the spinal cord of the nation. We must define it so that everybody will align to minimum standard of behavior in terms of that. So we need a closure. We need to wrap it up, and so that all it takes is for somebody to say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I want to go back to what I experienced in Rwanda. That a family, a widow or a woman had her husband and 4 kids killed. So, and she was just left alone. The rest of the family killed. And then they did their truth and reconciliation committees. They held it in communities, in hamlets. And somebody walked up to her and said, "Ma'am, I was the person who killed your husband and your 4 children." And she looked at, and said, "Where did you bury them?" And he took her and showed her where he buried them. She asked that they zoom, but they could get only their canvas and their bed, and she took it and went and kept them at the Genocide Museum and said, "Yes, I've forgiven you now. I've forgiven you now." At least 2 things. One, she knows how her family was extinguished and by who. She knows now that she knows that man, she knows that the man is not likely going to come after her. But if somebody is in denial, and the person, you go and flag off an Okada man, you didn't know that Okada man was the person who, so you don't know whether the person will eventually come after you, having killed the rest of your family. So perpetually, you live with the shadow of the man, whether he is tall, short, fat. You build pictures and say, was this a monster? Or were they killed by all these other people? So you have to respect that closure. It's not as if anything is going on. But today, that man who did that and the woman are friends. I mean, they live in the same community, and then there's, but she has accepted her fate the way it is. I said, I'm truly sorry. I'm truly sorry. So we need to get a closure on that. We also need to get a closure on, because the dramatic personnel, those people who took part in the Civil War, are almost the major actors are 80 years and above. Once they go away now, none of us here know what happened during the war. So our children will never know. And it will continue to be an issue. It will continue to be an issue. Because there are so many misgivings, fallacies, and things that are not true. A child can grow up and say, I'm an Igbo man, I understand how some people fought. But was that the truth? Or some people say, I'm an Hausa man, I understand the Igbos were rebellious. But is that the truth? How come that those people who took part in this thing cannot come out and tell us what the truth, what happened really? Let us get a closure. Let us, so that if anybody needs to say sorry, say sorry. If anybody needs to say okay, and that'll be it. And that'll be it. So I have canvassed this view in many places, and I do not want to make it a reference. Neither do I want to make it part of what I need to be saying all the time, because if I take the first step, what will be my next step? All I want to say is that maybe ignorantly, we don't seem to understand the importance of all of this in healing and building a nation. That if you hurt somebody, we need to get a closure on many things.
Welcome back. Well, you've heard directly from the executive governor. Let me hear your thoughts, what you think the way forward should be. TOS TV Network also took to the streets to hear from everyday Nigerians like you about their views on this situation. Take a look at what they had to say.
IPOB is not just about Igbo leadership again, alone. I hear me? It is no more an Igbo leadership thing, because the leaders have been speaking over the years. Even as we are talking right now, there is no official endorsement from any governor for IPOB. I hear me? But the problem of IPOB is the same problem that's affecting all youths in Nigeria. I hear me? Even in the Middle Belt, all these places, there are youths that are angry. And if we don't do something quick, look at what is happening in Yoruba land now, for instance. I hear me? Most of these things that are happening, the Yoruba guys are saying that, oh, we must leave. Why do they want to leave? It is because there's no good governance. Once there's good governance, all these things will fade away. For instance, look at the Middle Belt. Let me tell you one thing. Now the Middle Belt does not have any name of any youth group. Let us not allow them to get to that level. Let us not allow the other place to get to that level. So this is the time to solve Nigerian problem. The time is still there. We can still solve it. What we need is good leadership.
What I think about this and IPOB, actually they have the right, because they think the oil is from their own side, and they think maybe they are not been benefiting from it in terms of employment and other things. But since we said one Nigeria, if they can remember, even the North started what? Farming. For them even to build that their oil is from the what? Farming from the North. This granite oil, this granite and other things, cotton, before they can even build that their refinery. I know they have the right to talk, to fight for their right, because they are not been benefiting from what they are supposed to benefit. But what I'm thinking, this government, well, let's try to give them a chance. Since they have another 2 years and some months, let's see how they are going to do to resolve this issue. Because I know there are problems, even them in their mind, they don't want to divide the country. It's just that the way they are being marginalized and they are not benefiting from other things, and even in terms of employment. And that is what is causing the problem. But I believe they should give the government a little chance. Let's see how they are going to solve the problem for them to benefit. But the burden of the country, in my own terms, it's not going to be good.
Nigeria should continue in unity. So we should all come together and dialogue and continue and live in one Nigeria. One Nigeria will live in peace, harmony, and progress.
I don't think it will be advisable or wise for us, the way we have come so far in this country, for every ethnic group to agitate for separation. It's my candid opinion and advice to our Biafran brother to at least have rethink over this issue, so that the peace that we have been enjoying will keep us going. As a Nigerian, I cannot testify that yes, there is peace in this country. So because we have about 527 ethnic languages in this country, so what about if everyone will come up and say, okay, I will detach, I will separate? Where would there be peace again? There is peace. Now, if you go by definition of country, Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is a state. But then, because of we have agreed under our British masters that yes, we agree to stay together, and that's what makes us country, even though we are state.
The government should call the agitators to sit on a round table and discuss their plight and discuss what exactly they want. Well, of course, from the onset, you will agree with me that some of the agitations or some of those things they are really asking for is very clear, and the handwriting is clearly written on the wall. So, but I think the government is diverting attention, rather putting a deaf ears on it, pretending not to look at it. But well, it's so clear. The issue of federal character, like Section 14 sub 3, which emphasizes on the issue of federal character for the unity of the country. I don't think, to an extent, one of the agitations which they are asking for, I don't think they have been fairly treated, as a matter of fact.
Separation is not a solution. At least we should continue to live with one another so that we can move this country forward. So I didn't believe in separation, because if we separated, it will cause a lot more havoc to this country. You understand? You that departed to another side, you don't know what you are going to meet there. But if you come together and agree on one certain thing, it will move Nigeria forward.
What I think about the IPOB issue in the southeastern Nigeria is that government should call for dialogue. They are all Nigerians. So it started with agitation. Government should call and dialogue. We should know, because even the approach they too are applying in killing police, burning down police stations, it doesn't really need that. What is most important is that we have a president. The president should call for dialogue. Let us know what their demand is, because it is equally very wrong for a nation to believe that a section of the country cannot rule Nigeria. A section of the country cannot rule Nigeria. We can't try it. We had the civil war that started on 6th of July 1967 till it ended in January 30, 1970. It's like we are not students of history. The people that actively participated in the war are the same set of people that do not even know how to manage crisis before it escalates to this level. So the killing in the southeast has to be stopped, and the only way it can be stopped is by a dialogue.
That's it for today's episode. Don't forget, the conversation never ends on your television screens. You can visit our website, www.TOS TV Network, to read more news about this topic and sustainable development across Africa. You can also engage us on social media at TOS TV Network, at The Osasu Show, at Osasu Ikpeazu on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can text me directly regarding your solutions to the issues that we've discussed today, and proffer your homegrown solutions that you believe need to be implemented to keep Nigeria as one. Until next time, take very good care of yourself. Keep wearing your face mask, keep washing your hands, keep practicing social distancing, because COVID-19 is still very much out there. I'll see you same time, same place next week, and until then, God bless you.